As a non-hunting horn user, I decided to learn the hunting horn against Bloodbath Diablos, and I hate my choices in life right now. Welcome, classy crew, to my 18th journal as I try to become an omni-hunter by slaying Bloodbath Diablos with every weapon in Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate. I've now done 4 or 5 weapons. Last time I said I would do it with Insect Glaive and Light Bowgun. I did finish with Insect Glaive, but I said, you know what? Let's go off the rails and pick my worst weapon. And so Hunting Horn is probably the worst weapon I've had. I've had the worst experience with. I've never really touched it in any other game. I've had zero interest in playing it. I'm musically inept in the real world. I'm tone deaf. I can't play music and I can hardly appreciate music. I can respect the beat, but I can't keep a beat. Even when I first discovered Monster Hunter, I was like, hunting horn users look weird. I just didn't vibe with it. So to go in and actually have to learn the mechanics, learn what this weapon does, how do you use it, and then apply it against one of the hardest monsters in the franchise. And I, by the way, I haven't even won yet. I've tried for 10 hours to beat Bloodbath Diablos with a hunting horn, and I cannot do it because I can't do enough damage. This is an instrument, a blunt instrument, not a weapon. And so my DPS just sucks. I keep hitting phase 3 Bloodbath Diablos when there's 5 minutes in the fight left, and there's just no way I'm whittling 30% of his health in 5 minutes. So I usually just abandon the quest. However, I'm happy to share that there has been a journey of learning and progress from my very first hunting horn against Bloodbath Diablos to where I am today. And I feel like by the time this journal drops, a few more streams will have happened and I will have defeated him. So let me recap where I was. I was there with the Grimclaw hunting horn. It needed to be upgraded, so I hunted Grimclaw Tigrex a few times. In multiplayer, got my hunting horn to the second last level, so it wasn't fully optimized. 290 raw attack and something else. The reason I took this hunting horn is because of the song choices on it that people recommended. It has earplugs. It has the biggest attack boost that can give you an attack plus 20. The self-improvement, I think, is on every horn. And anyways, let me dissect how this just did not work for me. I tried using the Grimclaw hunting horn against Bloodbath Diablos using guild style, and man, I'm realizing how specific all this is. If you've never played GU, you probably can't follow any of this. So guild style is basically the standard way of playing hunting horn in most old gen Monster Hunter at this point. And my skills was, what did I put for my skills? So I had evasion plus 2, which was an amazing skill to add because it let me roll through so many attacks with Bloodbath Diablos. I put in earplugs, and we'll come back to that in a moment because I liked the coziness. That's it. Evasion 2, evasion plus 2 and earplugs. The high grade earplugs takes up all my slots. So that's all I had. And so the first thing I needed to do was actually learn my combos. What's my bread and butter? And the hunting horn has 6 moves. It's really not a complex weapon from an attack perspective, but it has so much upkeep and maintenance. I want to make a joke about a relationship and what the hunting horn would be like as a metaphor, but I'm just not smart enough to do it right now. But I think you can imagine a high maintenance date. You know what that's like? That's your hunting horn. If you want to date someone that's always asking you for attention and to do something every 2 minutes, that is the hunting horn. Because on top of taking your cold drinks and your potions and whatever else you got to revitalize and sharpening your weapon, it's also hey, can you play that song again that makes us go fast? Hey, can you play that song again, which lets us hit hard? And it just keeps stacking to the point where it got so stupid at one point. But anyways, let's go back to the simple moves. So you basically got your forward down smash. It's not really a smash. It's more like your forward down hit. You've got your side swing, and I learned that the side swing is your fastest move, and that's what you want to be spamming on the monster. Just side swing him. And then you've got the really long, the double button where you overhead, that's the smash. And if you're not moving, it's a backwards, you fall backwards like you're drunk and you hit from the back. And that's your biggest damage attack. So I learned to run towards the monster, look away from it, and just go bonk backwards. And I have to say, I learned to appreciate that move. That's not what I'm going to knock this weapon on. So that's good. So after some training, at first I was doing a lot of the forward attack move. With some practice, I started doing more of the side swing a lot under the gut of Bloodbath Diablos, and then getting up in his face, turning around and just going bonk from behind, but not enough damage. So I was actually surprisingly good at dodging Bloodbath Diablos. I think it's probably because of evasion plus 2 and all my practice fighting this monster. I'm starting to know this guy pretty well. but I just could not create enough damage. And so what I did after a while is I'm like, okay, I just got too many cozy skills. Let's try to damage up. So I'm like, I'm going to start relying on my song instead of my earplug skills. So I'm going to play the song to give myself earplugs. So I removed those decorations and I slotted in crit eye and crit boost, which should give me more damage output. And again, sticking with the guild style, I went in, and this is when I absolutely rage quit because there was so much upkeep at this point, because now you have to play self-improvement not just once but twice. Self-improvement is your basic song where you go like forward attack twice. No, sorry. You got to go forward attack twice so that you can play the song, which then goes into a long animation where you're like do do do, and then you got to do it again to get the second song, because every song has a second buff. So self-improvement is like the thing that you want on at all times. The first rendition of the song lets you move around fast unsheathed. It's really good. The second rendition gives you basically the ability to not bounce off Bloodbath Diablos. Also critical, otherwise you're going to attack, you're going to bounce, and you're going to be left open to be hit. And then after that, you need more DPS, so you're going to play the song with attack boost, which is 4 notes. So you got to do 4 attacks, and then you play the song, which has a stupid animation. I'm like wailing my arms here, but that's what it does. And then you got to go into an encore, which it's just such a huge lock-on animation, and that boost lasts maybe 90 seconds, maybe 2 minutes. Each song lasts about 1 or 2 minutes. And now, because I've gotten rid of my earplugs, I also need to play the song of earplugs, and I have to play it twice to get the good earplugs. So that's literally playing 3 songs double time every 2 to 3 minutes, on top of keeping up my cold drinks, keeping up my stamina drinks, sharpening my doot, attacking the monster, and also defending myself from this monster. It was complete mind overload. I rage quit, but hey, to the real good players out there who love Hunting Horn and play Hunting Horn, mad respect to you. I appreciate your playstyle so much. I'm like, wow, if you can do this solo, like hunt monsters of this difficulty solo, damn, you are a freaking amazing player to be able to do all this upkeep and manage all of these different things and just be like, I'm having fun. This is giving me dopamine, because it just did not do that for me at all. I rage quit that night. I literally did. I don't think I've ever been so angry playing Monster Hunter. Like, I just did not want to touch this game again. And so, as I do when these things happen, I reflect on my play session, what went well, what went wrong. I'm like, okay, I need more DPS. What can I do? I pulled up Kiriniko. I pulled up some spreadsheets. I ran simulations, and I'm like, okay, this is what the Grimclaw's doing. If I'm hitting it like this, what's my damage output? I'm like, okay, what other horn could I use to increase my damage output without significantly changing my playstyle? Because I get it too. There's a skill issue here. We're not going to lie about it. I am the issue, but like, I have to play within those parameters, within my skill issues. What can I do to improve my DPS? And so my solution was to pick up the Gormagala Hunting Horn, because it's got slightly more raw damage, but it's got affinity. It's got 30% affinity, which means more crits. And also, very important, it has shorter songs. So it's a trade-off. You don't get the big attack plus 20 boost that you can get on the Grimclaw. You can only get an attack 10 plus 10% or 15%, but you only need to play 3 notes instead of 4. And to me, that was a huge game changer, because I was just getting locked up in all these things I had to do. I built that, I grinded out Gormagala, I made it to the second last level because I needed like a mantle to get it to the final level. So there's still room to squeeze out more DPS here. I got rid of evasion plus 2, switched to adept style, which lets me dodge the moves. I pulled in my earplugs because I'm like, screw it. I'd rather just have my earplugs and not waste time playing the song for earplugs. And I think that's all I did. No, there's something else. I slotted something else in. It must be crit. I didn't write it down, so I forget what it was. But it was an offensive skill. And I went in, and what I've learned from Adept is I can pretty much dodge everything Bloodbath throws at me. Like, I felt untouchable until, he carded me a few times. And after an Adept move, I can bonk him 3 times with any attack I want, and I can cancel those, so I'm not animation locked. So I feel like I was doing a lot more damage. I don't know if these 3 hits are doing like the same amount of damage as if I wasn't in Adept style, but I only had time to go against him 1 time with my Gormagala hunting horn, and I was like, I love this playstyle, but I made it to phase 3 again. It took me 40 plus minutes to get there. So I'm like, my DPS still isn't good enough. I may have to upgrade my hunting horn, and I might just have to get a little bit more aggressive. But now that I know that with adept style, I can just dodge everything and then triple bonk him under the stomach with the big red attack, I'm like, I should be able to keep up some pretty heavy damage here. I'm excited to try it again because I think I finally figured out how I'm going to defeat Bloodbath Diablos, which is great. And also, since then, I've gone back to Wilds. People say the hunting horn has changed a lot in the new era of Monster Hunter. Let's see what this is about. So I gave hunting horn another proper try in Wilds now that I feel that I actually can understand this weapon. And I was surprised to see how familiar it was. It still has the side swipe. It has the forward swipe. It's got the backwards bonk. It's got all of the core elements, but man, they sped up all the animations so that you're not stuck playing your music while a monster's coming at you. And they've added a few extra things. I didn't get to dabble too much. I know that there's one where you drop this thing on the ground, and I think it buffs you or something if you play music. I have to spend more time in Wilds to figure out what's going on there. But the fact that they fixed the animation lock of the songs, I'm just like, oh, this is actually playable in the new world. So I am unlocking the hunting horn slowly. And it's really cool. This is all why we're doing this pledge. It's because, that's how I learned. It's through this adversity and having to crunch and figure out what I'm going to do. So anyways, that's my failed hunting horn journey. Let's end this journal on a good note because let me share with you the insect glaive journey that I've went on. And this is another important transformation that happened because my whole playthrough of GU, the insect glaive has probably been my shining star, going from a weapon I didn't really understand or like to being one of my favorite weapons by the end of the game. And so I went into I played it in aerial style the whole time. And I found that with Bloodbath Diablos, I had met my match. 4 hours, a whole stream. I kept getting him to phase 3, so I was doing good damage. But in phase 3, I could not manage to kill him with aerial insect glaive. And it's because the positioning is so different with aerial playstyle because you're not rolling, you're now bouncing. And in my mind, as an insect glaive player, I have to be flying through the air all the time. So my timing that I've learned from the longsword, the charge blade, the switch axe, it doesn't transfer to aerial insect glaive. The timings are all different. So I was getting hit left and right. I was struggling a lot. And I was using 3 skills with this build. I had the vault skill that does more damage when I'm in the air. I had my earplugs and I had my weakness exploit, which was all good stuff. I felt I was a lot better at mounting Bloodbath. I was mounting him a lot. Getting the red extract was pretty easy. I was consistently getting him to phase 3. So I was playing good, but just not good enough. And so when I came back on a second stream with my insect glaive, I had seen a lot of the speedrun players, they all use Valor. And I had seen how I've never played Valor in insect glaive in my whole playthrough. And I was like, I want to try Valor because I don't want to be in the air so much. I want to be on the ground and just smacking them. So I equipped Valor. We changed up our skills so I didn't have the vault skill anymore. So I kept the weakness exploit and earplugs, but I went with sharpness. And this was a game changer. It was my first time playing Valor insect glaive. And so I spent the first minute just okay, this does this, this does this. And I learned the combo that lets me position from forward, basically you smack, and then you jump forward, or you smack, and then you backflip. Great moves. Got those into my hand memories or muscle memories. This was such a fun fight because I felt like I was just sticking to him all the time, and I'm just hitting him all between the legs, under the stomach, back flipping, front flipping, just positioning myself to where I want to be. And when his tail would come and hit me or something would happen, I just Valor out of it. And so my first try with Valor insect glaive, I was able to beat Bloodbath Diablos, and in fact, I set a personal record for my own time. So the insect glaive is now my fastest weapon to beat Bloodbath Diablos at 37 minutes, 12 seconds. This is dangerous territory because I'm getting excited about beating my own time, which is a slippery slope to getting into speedrunning pledges, but we're not there yet. And there is one funny thing that did happen in my hunt here with Bloodbath. I wanted him to stay in one place. I put a trap down, and as I put the trap down, he was charging me, And of course, he jumped the trap to hit me. And I was like, oh my goodness, this AI, it just knows. It just knows sometimes. Like, oh, Hunter, putting a trap right there that I can see. Yoink, jump over it and go hit you. So with that, I've got 4 weapons down on my pledge. I've got 10 left. I'm going to be beating Bloodbath Diablos at the Hunting Horn because I really think that's going to be my biggest struggle. The other weapons should not be as hard as this. There's going to be learning curves to all of them. I'm going to have to grind them. I'm going to have to remember them because it's been so many months since I've touched the other weapons. I really hope it's not as painful as Hunting Horn. I'm excited for the other ones that I don't play very well, like the Great Sword or the Hammer. I don't have much practice with them, but I can just feel myself getting better against Bloodbath Diablos. Because honestly, I'm really getting to know that monster's move inside and out. So hopefully by the next time you see me here on YouTube, I will have beaten it with Hunting Horn, maybe a few other weapons. Let's make it a meaty journal. We got to get this pledge done. So I'll see you in the next journal or on the stream. And until next time, keep it classy.